Okay, I'm going to go through how to do some free body diagrams on this. Notice these don't have actual magnitude or numbers with them. So this is just kind of a general overview of this. I'm probably not going to get through all of it, but I will do some to give you an idea of what things would look like. So it says a box is at rest on a tabletop. Diagram the forces acting on, and this should say box, not book. Okay, so in this case, we've got balanced forces because it's not moving, and there's no acceleration. Okay, so because of that, we know we always have the force of gravity, and we also have the normal force, remember, that goes against, that works in the opposite direction of gravity. So that's it. Nothing's moving it forward or backwards. That's all that's going on. The next one here, we've got a gymnast is holding onto 2 rings attached to the ceiling, getting ready to perform his routine suspended in the air. So this is kind of some key words there. Diagram the forces acting on the gymnast. Okay, well, we still have the force of gravity, but we also now have that tension force. I'm just gonna call it TE, tens. And we also still have the normal force. We'll do the tension here. So we've got the 2 tension, the 2 things holding it up. I guess they replace the normal. But we've got balanced forces again because they're not moving, and no acceleration. So it's all balanced out. Okay, next one. An egg is free falling from a nest in a tree. Diagram the forces acting on the egg as it is falling. So again, gravity. But now we've got air resistance working against it because it's in the air, moving that way. So this one we now, and it says free falling. So we have unbalanced forces because it's accelerating. And it's accelerating that direction. Next one, a flying squirrel is gliding with no wing flaps from a tree to the ground, so going from a tree to the ground, at a constant velocity. Diagram the forces acting on the squirrel. Well, if it's a constant velocity, we have balanced forces, there's no acceleration. But we also have the force of air, because it's going through the air, and force of gravity working that way. A rightward force is applied to a box in order to move it across the desk at a constant velocity. So we have a force going that way. Again, constant velocity, balanced forces, because there's no acceleration. It says neglect air resistance. Diagram the forces acting on it. So we have an applied force here. That's the applied force. It's moving it across the desk. So we still have friction. But we also still have the force of gravity and our normal force working on it. Okay, but constant velocity, so it's not accelerating there. Next one, a college student rests a backpack upon his shoulder. The pack is suspended motionless by one strap from one shoulder. Diagram the forces acting on the backpack. Again, motionless. So balanced forces, no acceleration. And again, if it's suspended, we still have the tension. So there's just one this time. And that's working against that gravity. That's it. I guess we'll just do this all because we're almost done. A force is applied to the right to drag a sled along a loosely packed snow with a rightward acceleration. Oh, we have acceleration. Neglect air resistance. Diagram the forces acting upon the sled. So with acceleration, we have unbalanced forces. And we're accelerating probably to the right. Yep, rightward. So we've got that. That's our applied force. And even though snow probably doesn't have a lot of friction, there's still some. And we have, it says neglect air resistance, so we still have the force of gravity and that normal force working on things. And this one, a car is coasting to the right with no applied force and slowing down. This one's a little confusing. Neglect air resistance. So it's slowing down, so it's still accelerating. Remember, that's one of the conditions, speeding up, slowing down, or changing direction. So we do have an acceleration that way, but there's no applied force, but what's slowing it down has to be the force of friction. But we still have our normal and our force of gravity. Okay, so there's your kind of introduction to more free body diagrams. Hope that's helpful.